be talking wings. We have a special guest with us joining us from St. Louis, from the Detroit Free Press, Helene St. James, with us via Skype. Good morning to you out there.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. The biggest question in our takeaway, we talked all about the Bruins-Red Wings matchup. These guys found out late last night that it would be Boston in the first round. Immediate reactions from you, knowing that now it is the Bruins for them.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Your thoughts on, and the team's thoughts on playing the Bruins in the first round.
Yeah, you know, I think whether they play the Bruins or, as they thought for a while, Pittsburgh, Detroit's going to, I think, emerge as the victor. They have a lot of things going for them right now, rolling four good lines, most importantly of all. The fact that they know who they're playing and there's nothing at stake for them today. They're going to sit a few guys, Nicholas Kronwall, Johan Franzen, Danny DeKeyser, and Daniel Alfredsson, take their opportunity to rest up before starting the series as they anticipate Thursday in Boston.
Helene, it's Matt Shepard. What is the biggest matchup when you look at Boston? I know they beat them 3 out of 4, the only team to do that this year, but where do you see as the biggest matchup between these two teams in round one?
Probably on defense. I mean, Boston has just an incredible defense. It's not just Zdeno Chara, you know, who's impossible for any forward to move in front of the net or any goalie to look in front of. So what you really have to do when you play a guy like that is just try to put your stick on top of his, make sure he can't be effective that way. And then, I mean, Boston has some incredible forwards as well, but, you know, Detroit is the only team that beat Boston 3 times in regulation this season. 2 of those games they didn't have Pavel Datsyuk. 1 of those they didn't have Henrik Zetterberg or Pavel Datsyuk. So I think they have to be feeling pretty confident about themselves.
Helena, how do you feel about Jimmy Howard and his approach going to the playoffs? How do you feel he's played this year, up and down, but your thoughts on him now as he'll have to go up against Rask?
I think he's feeling pretty good about himself. I mean, he's had some good games of late. You know, not every goal they score, opponent scores, is his fault. The Carolina game, I think he got hung out to dry a few games. So he's also one of the mentally toughest goalies. I think he learned a lot from being around Chris Osgood for many years on how to shake off a bad performance right away. So I'm not worried about him going into the playoffs.
Helena, busy morning there. I know you've got to get your pregame meal in. What's the spread look like in St. Louis in the press box today?
What does the spread look like? You know what? I ate at the hotel, and I'm actually hoping to get home tonight, but we have very bad thunderstorms here, so keep your fingers crossed every plane leaves this afternoon from St. Louis.
They are crossed. Be safe, have fun, travel safely to Boston, and good luck finding a hotel. It's marathon weekend there.
Yeah, that's right.
Next week. So thank you so much for joining us from St. Louis. Have fun out there today. Good stuff, Helene St. James from the Detroit Free Press.
You're asking her about the pregame meal?
It's important. You can see she's right there in the press box. Important
You can tell where Brad's priorities are. I disagree with her, by the way. I don't think it's going up against Boston's D. I think it's Boston's forwards against Detroit's defense. When you got guys like Brian Lashoff, Danny DeKeyser, who I like a lot, Nicholas Kronwall, you're without Jonathan Ericsson, against guys like Lucic and Marchand and the amount of Ginla, the waves that they can bring at you and how deep they are. I think it's just the opposite. I think it's Boston's forwards against Detroit's D that will dictate this series.
It'll be a top-heavy series because if, as Mike Babcock said, they steal 1 from Boston on the road, it's a brand new series.
No question.
And the door is wide open.
Don't forget the former Spartan, Torrey Krug, on the back end.
40-point guy on
Do
defense.
you realize Kyle Quincy played in all 82 games? I didn't.
Do you realize he's the only player to do that?
Yeah, I think it was him and Drew Miller, right?
And he may
I
be
thought it
the
was just
worst.
him.
We're talking Tigers after
This is
the
last
break.
year, by the way, so it doesn't matter.